volunteer to stand and remain standing. Full Court of the Federal Court of Australia is now in session. Be seated, please.
Announcements of the appointment of Senior Counsel for the State of New South Wales.
Mr. Veltro.
I have the honour to announce that I have been appointed Senior Counsel for the State of New South Wales, taking rank and precedence next after my learned friend Elizabeth Mary Peden.
Thank you, Mr. Veltro. Your first challenge. In this court, anyway. Downing.
Thank you, Honour. I have the honour to announce that I've been appointed Senior Counsel for the State of New South Wales, taking rank and precedence next after my learned friend Frank Anthony Veltro.
Thank you, Mr. Downing. Mr. Fernon.
I have the honour to announce that I have been appointed Senior Counsel for the State of New South Wales, taking rank and precedence after my learned friend Jason Downing.
Thank you, Mr. Fernon. Mr. Bedrossian.
I have the honour to announce that I have been appointed as Senior Counsel for the State of New South Wales, taking rank and precedence next after my learned friend Andrew Francis Fernon.
Thank you, Mr. Bedrossian. Mr. McKay.
I have the honour to announce that I have been appointed Senior Counsel, State of New South Wales, taking rank and precedence after my learned friend Vahan, Bedrossian.
Thank you, Mr. McKay. Ms. Steele.
I have the honour to announce that I have been appointed Senior Counsel for the State of New South Wales, taking rank and precedence after my learned friend Kenneth Leslie McKay.
Thank you, Ms. Steele. Mr. Hogan-Doran.
I have the honour to announce that I have been appointed as Senior Counsel for the State of New South Wales, taking rank and precedence after my learned friend Jodie.
Thank you, Mr. Hogan-Doran. Mr. Katekar.
I have the honour to announce that I have been appointed Senior Counsel for the State of New South Wales, taking rank and precedence next after my learned friend Justin Adrian Nash Hogan-Doran.
Thank you, Mr. Katekar. Ms. Avenell.
I have the honour to announce that I've been appointed Senior Counsel for the State of New South Wales, taking rank and precedence next after my learned friend Benjamin Frederick Katekar.
Thank you, Ms. Avenell. Mr. Harding.
I have the honour to announce that I have been appointed as State of New South Wales, taking rank.
Thank you, Mr. Harding. Mr. Zahra.
The honour to announce that I have been appointed Senior Counsel for the State of New South Wales, taking rank and precedence next after my learned friend Andrew Charles.
Thank you, Mr. Zahra. Mr. Potter.
I have the honour to announce I've been appointed Senior Counsel for the State of New South Wales, taking rank and precedence.
Thank you, Mr. Potter. Thank you all for coming. As you can appreciate, it's wonderful to see you in these socially distanced virtual times. On behalf of all the judges of the Federal Court of Australia, and in particular the judges of the New South Wales Registry, only some of whom are here for those socially distancing reasons, others are watching via Teams, as no doubt other friends and family are. I congratulate you on your appointments as Senior Counsel. The Court is delighted that friends and family are present as well. They are most welcome. The judges of the Court are delighted to share in their pride at your appointment. The presence of family and friends reminds one of the importance of the intertwining of the personal and the institutional in the building of the fabric of a community and thus a society. There has been, from the beginning of this court, in legislation in 1976 and in physical presence in early 1977, a close relationship between the New South Wales Bar and the judges of this court. The first Chief Justice of the court, Sir Nigel Bowen, had been a president of the New South Wales Bar Association. He prided himself on leading a court in which it was both a pleasure and a challenge to appear, especially for new counsel and new senior counsel. The move to senior counsel is an important one, personally and professionally for you, and important professionally for the court. It is a status in the law long recognised, which can be traced back to the beginning of the 17th century with the appointment of Sir Francis Bacon as King's Counsel. The regeneration and reinvigoration of the senior bar is essential. It is a constant process. It is part of institutional and societal continuity of tradition and bonds between generations. Before you realise it, you will no longer be newly appointed silk, but silk of some years' standing. More appointments will come after you. Appointment as senior counsel is a recognition of the standing that you have reached and received in the profession, and a recognition of your learning and of your advocacy. It is a recognition by your peers and the courts that you are learned in the law and that you understand it. The work that you will now do will be different. It will carry greater responsibility. More will be expected of you. And this greater expectation will exist in clients, solicitors, juniors, judges, but most importantly in yourselves. Junior members of the bar will look, and of the profession generally, will look to you for guidance and leadership. Judges will look to you for assistance of a special kind. And the members of this court look forward to and expect to receive that assistance from you. The expectation arises from the great importance of the institution of the senior bar for the maintenance of a strong and independent judiciary, judicial system and administration of justice. You take your place at the most senior level in one branch of the profession that serves the only form of governmental power, judicial power, through the administration of justice, that has as its defining characteristic the protection of the individual and through that of society. Thank you for your courtesy in announcing your appointment to the court. The court and all the judges of the court wish you well in the discharge of your special duties and responsibilities that you have now undertaken. Court will now adjourn.
All stand, please. The full court of the Federal Court of Australia is now adjourned.